Okay, welcome to Journeys. I am your host, Denise Hurley, and I'm here with Sedruola Maruska. Welcome, Sadie.
Thank you, Denise. It's good to be here.
Okay, so can you tell us a little bit about yourself to start?
Sure. My name is Sedruola Maruska. Most people call me Sadie, just as Denise just did. I am a personal development coach in Lancaster, Massachusetts, and I work primarily with women to help them reach the goals that they had buried deep and rediscovered. I do that as a coach. I believe in personal development is all about being the best person you can be, being your best self. And the areas that I focus on are racial sensitivity, setting and achieving personal goals, and confidence building. So I do that. I coach. I also do workshops, and I also do speaking engagements. So that's a little bit in a nutshell.
Little bit. Yeah. How long have you been doing this?
I've been a personal coach. I've been since about January of 2017. Is when I started actually pursuing being a coach and creating a coaching practice.
Okay.
Before that, I was doing some coaching, but I was doing it in the area of working with women who were building crochet businesses, because I was doing crochet patterns and selling crochet items. So I moved away from the crochet and just went more to personal development, because I felt personal development is a little bit closer to my heart, and it's more of, I think, where my passion lies and where my creativity lies and where my mission lies, really.
Sure. So, all right. So what is a personal development coach? What is that?
It's funny that you ask that. I think people ask that all the time. A personal development coach is simply someone who helps you achieve the goals that you want to achieve in the main areas of life where you want to find yourself being better. So, for example, a personal development coach will help people with their confidence, help you build more confidence. As I said, I do racial sensitivity. A personal development coach who works with racial sensitivity will help you build your sensitivity toward the things that are outside and help you to realize how to be more sensitive to different cultures and look within yourself as to why some of the reactions that you do have. A personal development coach is also there to help you unblock yourself from achieving the goals that you want to achieve, whether it be in business and family and community, health, all spiritually, all sorts of things, which is why I like to kind of hone myself towards just the goal setting and achieving, the racial sensitivity, and the confidence building, because I don't want to get into the whole weight loss or weight gain, or I also do some business coaching as well, but that's kind of on the periphery. So it could be so many different things. It just depends on the individual. What is it that you want to enhance personally yourself? And a personal development coach is there to say, okay, this is what you've said you want to do. How do we do that now? What are some of the ways that we can achieve the goals that you said you really want to achieve?
Oh. All right. So I looked through your profile, and Sedruola?
Yes.
What is that?
Sedruola is my mother's name backwards, actually. My mother's name is Lourdes, and so it's my name. It's her name backwards, and of course, Lourdes is mean of the Lourdes, which is Spanish French derivative, I believe, of the Mary. So that's basically what it means.
It's a beautiful name.
Thank you.
Beautiful. Okay, and you offer I guess, a swamp to serene coaching package. Can you explain what that's about?
Swamp to serene. Really what it means is, one of the things that I've realized in the past 2 years is that being busy is kind of the new status symbol.
Right.
How are you doing? Oh, I'm so busy. I'm so busy. And when we really look at what we're doing, most of what we're doing is very unnecessary. It's just moving our bodies, but it's not actually being directed toward anything. And a lot of times what I found is when you start coaching someone, they're like, well, I'm not sure that I have time. And then you start to look at what they're doing and go, okay, if you tell me that this is your goal, this is what you want to do, but you don't have time to do it, what are the things that you're doing that are taking away from the thing that you say that you really, really want to do? So swamped to serene is a way of paring down everything that is busy work, everything that is incredibly self-perpetuated, things that aren't that important to the ultimate goal, and allowing yourself the space that you need to go within, to figure out what you want, and to then achieve those goals without being overwhelmed, without feeling as if you're adding something new to your plate. It's more of a way to focus your energy and realize that that's the only way to achieve your goals, honestly. I'm a breast cancer survivor. I was diagnosed in December of 2017. And one of the things I learned through my treatments, as I had to sit with my pain and sit with my whatever anxiety I might have been feeling, and sit with whatever fears or whatever sadness, whatever it was that I had to sit with, I had to sit with it, because the ultimate goal was to get through it and take care of me. So, and at the same time, I wanted to make sure that everything that we maintained as normal a schedule as possible for my children. I have 2 children. So in that time, I realized that the busy, the push, the stress that we put on ourselves, a lot of it is self-perpetuated. We don't need it. Because when I had to sit and I had to do that, and then I would go to work. I was working through chemo, and then after that I had surgery, so I had to recover from surgery, and then I worked through radiation as well. But at that time, so many things I just let fall off, and so many feelings, ways that I was working things, I also let fall off. Instead of feeling incredibly anxious all the time, I gotta, I started to just pull back and say, you know what gets done today gets done today. And as long as I can see the end, as long as I can see the end product, as long as I'm focused on those goals, I'm okay. And that allowed me to live every day in a more calm and serene way, not feeling that I didn't get to that. Oh my gosh. Instead, feeling as if, okay, I didn't get to that today. Tomorrow's a new day. Let me take a look. Oh, I can put it in tomorrow or in 2 days or what have you. But always knowing that it's going to happen, because it is part of the goal that I need to achieve. So my journey through cancer was a very big part of why I decided to truly focus and pursue the personal development coaching, because I really want to Because when I'm helping you in all the other areas, I'm helping you with your goals, and I'm helping you with your racial sensitivity, and I'm helping you build your confidence. In all of that, I also make sure that I'm helping you to pare down so that you're not anxious doing it, and you're not overwhelmed with the things that you need to do and how you need to achieve them. Excuse me. As a cancer survivor, on the one hand, I feel that I am anxious because I'm like, I don't know if this will come back. I don't know if I'm on borrowed time. I don't know how much time is left, although I'm doing great.
Mm-hmm.
And so far, there's no cancer in my body anymore, but you still have that anxiety. But on the other hand, I also know that I need to give myself space. You need to give yourself time. You need to understand what you want and why you want it, and then move in that direction. So it's kind of it's a balancing act, and you also know that stress is the worst thing for a cancer survivor. Anyone who has any kind of illness or chronic illness, stress is one of the worst things that you can keep within your body. So I take time if I feel I need to take a nap, if I feel that I need to take a walk, if I feel that I just need to color or just watch TV for hours, whatever it is that I feel that I need to do in order to center and settle, I do. And so I help other people do that same thing, because the more settled and relaxed we are, that actually the more clarity we have and the more productive we are. So I've been incredibly productive this year, and without feeling like, oh my God, oh my God, oh my God. So, and I've helped other people get to their productivity level and feeling, wow, that was a lot easier, or it was a lot more comfortable than I thought it would be. Mm-hmm. So, that's, for me, that is the ultimate. I was telling someone yesterday, I am a drop in a river or an ocean or a body of water. I'm a drop, and I keep dropping myself so that I can have this ripple effect on others, so that I can help others. My main mission is to help other women achieve calmness and what they want, so that they can in turn be the ripples, create ripples of their own. Just like when the rain falls, it's got all these ripples on the water. It's about getting it out there.
It's amazing. So do you find when your new clients come to you that there's a learning curve for them initially to that whole concept of, like pretty much like living in the moment type of thing? Does that happen?
Yeah. What I find is most people, it's very hard to deprogram yourself to always needing to be busy. It's just quick programming. How are you? Oh, I'm doing great, but I'm so busy. So I've learned to just say, I'm doing great. Mm-hmm. Things are good. And even that, as simple as it seems, is something that is people find hard to do. And when I start with someone and I say, okay, this is what you want to do, there are a lot of things in between there that actually need to be cleared out. There are fears that need to be addressed. So why is it that you're afraid to do this when you know that doing something like this is going to help you reach your goal? There are layers that need to be, removed in order for people to see that's the goal that I want. Why am I letting all these other things get in the way? For example, let's say you want to achieve a certain level of financial achievement. Mm-hmm. And that is fantastic. You want to, you want to support your family financially, but your pricing is really low and you're afraid to raise it because you don't want to, one, you don't want to lose the current customers that you have, or two, you just think that it's just too much. It's just too much.
Mm-hmm.
But in the end, when you're looking at your goal, your numbers are not in line with getting to that goal in the time frame that you need to get to that goal. So my job is to ask the questions, is to continually ask the questions. Why do you keep the pricing where it is? Is that working for you? Do you think you will achieve your goals in that time? Why don't we try pushing your numbers a little bit further? Does that make you uncomfortable? Why does that make you uncomfortable? How do you think we can remove that discomfort so that you can live at this level, and then we can move forward to the levels where we need to be in order for you to get to where you need to go? So my job is really to help you pull out from within what is already there, but
Mm-hmm.
is just covered by a lot of programming and a lot of negative beliefs or limiting beliefs, self-deprecation, just a lot of things that we carry around with us for whatever reason that we carry around. And it's time to remove those so that we can be clear the path as we get to the goals that we want to get to. So when people come to me, yes, I find that there's a lot of that needs to happen. A lot of clearing, a lot of it's okay to invest in yourself. It's okay to want what you want. It's okay to increase your pricing if that is what it takes to get to what you want. Or it's okay to increase your learning. It's okay to increase your quiet time. It's okay to increase just whatever it is, or decrease whatever it is that you need to do in order to get to your goal. It's okay. And that is what people have a hard time with, especially as women, is what I find, that we have a really hard time, especially when it comes to taking care of self and what self wants, what I want. We think that we need to take care of everybody else first, whereas when we do that, we deplete ourselves and we're not giving ourselves a chance to replenish so that we can go back again. So I'm not saying that we deny our nature and not give of ourselves. What I'm saying is we need to be able to give ourselves time, realize our worth and what we want is important, and refill ourselves so that we can not only do what we want to do, but we can also help everyone else. So we have to take that time. And that's kind of where the mind shift happens, and a lot of the, oh my gosh, I never realized happens, and yes, I'm so excited, I'm more relaxed, and all that sort of thing. That's where it happens, when you begin to get the idea that, yeah, I can do this. I can, and I need to. This is important to me. So it works. And it's always fun and beautiful. And I love it.
I can see that. I can see you're quite passionate about it. And I just want to say I'm very happy that you said that you're doing well.
Thank you.
With everything. Thank you. I'm very happy for you that that's going well. Okay. So I want to switch gears a little bit.
Yep.
Now, you spoke at the George Floyd vigil that we had in Lancaster.
I did.
And actually, that's, that was one of many events that has been happening in this area, which I think is amazing. And I'm so thankful that that's happening. Can you talk about what's happening in this country as a whole, and what it means to you personally?
Okay. First of all, thank you so much for the opportunity to have had to speak at that vigil. It was honestly, I think it was necessary for me, and it was also necessary for the people who came. I think it was very cathartic, and thank you for pulling that together, because my understanding is that you were the organizer, and it was beautiful. It was actually beautiful. What is happening right now is so incredible to me, and it's so encouraging to me, because the more I talk to different people, the more I hear the same thing. I didn't realize, I didn't see, I didn't understand how all of this was working, how it affected me. And when you start to hear that, and as a Black person hearing that, I go, wow, that's incredible to me, because as Black people, we're like, we've been talking about this for ages. We've been yelling at the top of our voices for ages. And we've been essentially working to try to educate. But what I realized is that the conversation, we were speaking different languages. What I've learned is that white people are not socialized or encouraged to be able to see what it is that we were speaking about. So when we would say, oh my gosh, look at all these people that are getting killed by the police, they're like, well, a lot of white people get killed too. Maybe if they did A, B, C, D, they wouldn't get killed. And I say, okay, no, that's not what I'm saying. What I'm saying is it's disproportionate, because if your population is 60% white and 14% Black, that should be the ratio of deaths by police. It's not. If you go 100%, so you've got whites getting killed, but you've got Blacks getting killed at 2 times the rate of whites, right? How does that math work out? It doesn't, right? And then the other thing is, if he did A, B, C, D, they must have been breaking the law. They must have been doing something wrong. They should have been more respectful, blah, blah, blah. We've seen several incidents where that hasn't even been the case, where it's not even relevant, right? A kid who has a play gun in the park, the police shoot before they even ask any questions. You know, before even the kid even has an idea of what's happening, he's 12 years old and he gets shot down in the park. A man in the car with his girlfriend and daughter in the back seat, he told the police officer what was happening. I have a gun and I have permission to have it. I am going to get my information that you've just asked me for. Is shot in his car in front of his girlfriend and daughter when he was complying, when he was doing what he needed to do. So then what is the question? The question is he not allowed to have a gun? But now we have all these people who are like, well, Second Amendment, right? So does the Second Amendment does not apply to Black people? It's a disconnect. What I'm seeing right now is an awakening. People are going, I don't even understand why I was unable to see this. And with that awakening comes a lot of feelings and comes a lot of self-reflection.
Right.
How is it I was not able to see it? How, right? But at the same time, I understand that I didn't understand that you couldn't see it. In my circles, we're like, are they blind? Like, what is wrong with them? Why can't they see? This is so obvious. It's so obvious. It's obvious to us because we've dealt with it years. It's not obvious to you because you haven't dealt with it for years. And so now we're having a conversation where we're going, this is the case. And you're going, oh my gosh, wow. Okay, I see this. Because something, and I think, of course, George Floyd was definitely a catalyst for this, because they essentially watched a lynching happen in real time, and they thought that can't be possible. And it was like, it was like, yeah, it can. So, white people were like, that can't be possible. Black people were like, there goes another one. And white people were like, what do you mean? And then the conversation opened up to, hey, let me explain to you how this works. And let me explain to you why it works this way. And let me help you understand. And I didn't understand that you didn't understand what I was talking about. But now that we're on the same page, let's talk about it. So I am encouraged by that. I'm encouraged when I hear people say, I want to know more. I feel I really need to know more. I'm talking to my friends and my family, and I'm getting a lot of pushback, but I know that this is the right thing. So I'm going to push forward. And I'm here to say, thank you. Yes, push forward. It's going to be a long, arduous road. You're going to get pushback. It's 100% guaranteed.
Right.
That someone is going to push back on you somewhere. At the same time, which is why I do the racial sensitivity, at the same time, I am very big on take a breath. Because even as Black people, especially those who are really active and very, very visual and vocal, you must take time for yourself. You have to disengage and engage with those things that give you joy, those things that help you to see that, no, the sky is not falling. We're going to be okay. And those things that give you the opportunity to breathe, then get back into the fight. Even at war, this is essentially a type of warfare, but even at war, as we understand war, soldiers have to take some time sometimes to just, get out of the fray. They rotate out, in and out of the fray, and then they go back in. Right. Because it's necessary. So yes, as more white people engage with the information, as more white people begin to see things that before they wouldn't be able to see, because talking about race, talking about racism, talking about prejudice, discrimination is not something that's encouraged socially. It's not encouraged. It's like, well, just be nice to people, treat people kindly, and that's okay. It's not about that. Yes, we must treat people kindly, but at the same time, when you see someone else doing something that is not only unkind, but that is detrimental to someone's livelihood or life or upward mobility, you have to say something. You have to address that and not the person. So if you're in a position of power in a company and you're not actively engaging your employees and actively finding more diversity within your company, being nice, that does nothing. It's not making a difference, right? What would make a difference is changing policy as you are able, and saying, okay, I'm looking at my team and I think that my team could be a little bit more diverse. How do I rotate people in or out or hire when someone leaves? How do I fill that position with someone that's more diverse? And also in a position of power, how do I create a culture that is inclusive? It's one thing to have people come in who are Black or who are Latino or who are Native American or Indian or, whatever color in the spectrum we can find. It's one thing. But when they come in and they have to assimilate to a culture within a company that does not take into consideration all the creativity, all the culture, all the beauty, the color that they can bring, you're wasting your time. They're going to be there because they've got to take care of their families just as you do. But when they do find an opportunity to be able to go as a whole person into a position, they're leaving your company very quickly because there's nothing holding them there. So if you actually want to tap into what it means to truly be an inclusive company, a company where all ideas are valued and taken into consideration, an innovative company, a company that will prosper incredibly because you're taking in all these different aspects of people, you have to bake it into your system. You have to bake it into your culture. You have to bake it into the trajectory of the company. It has to be part of what the company stands for and will not stand for. And so all of these things right now, I see them happening in different places. I'm working on Educate to Elevate, which is a racial sensitivity workshop that I just did this week, and I'm going to do again in September. And for me, it was an opportunity to give people space, to give people information, but to also give them a safe space to be able to speak up and ask the questions that they need to ask, make the comments that they need to make, and then get the information that they need to get. So it was really good. I really enjoyed the women that I worked with. It was all women. It was about 16 women, and it was intimate. It was online like this. It was on Zoom, but everyone was able to chime in and tell their truths and speak their ahas and make commentary. And also, I ask questions before I go into anything so that I can see where you are and then explain to you how what you think may be a small part of what it actually is, what the big picture is. And being able to do that and having people engage and really internalize the information gives me so much joy, because it's the ripple effect, right? These same people can go out and they can in turn share the information that they've learned, and so on and so forth. So it's that ripple effect that excites me, because I see it happening in so many different places in so many different ways. And having had a vigil in Lancaster and attended a march in Clinton, and hearing about the march and protests in Fitchburg and all these little towns here, and knowing that that was the same thing across the country, little towns, and then across the world, I was like, incredible. Yes, let's keep the momentum going. Let's keep the education going. Let's keep the openness and the understanding going, because that's the only way that things are going to change and shift and allow for an equitable society that is more economically sound, more educationally sound, and more socially sound. It's the only way.
Only way. Yep. Thank you. Thank you for your perspective on that. So you will continue doing your workshops for different groups. Are you thinking about expanding to corporations, or just
yes, actually,
what's next with all of this, these workshops? They sound fascinating. They sound wonderful.
So I'm doing another workshop in September, because I've decided for myself that I'm taking the last 2 weeks of July and all of August for me, to do what, to be with my family, do a little bit of traveling, and also do a little bit of development work in my coaching work. But I also, yes, do. So the next workshop is going to be on September 1st. And then I do plan to do one more before the close of the year. Also, I am speaking currently to one company that is wanting to develop, they want to develop a more inclusive culture.
Mm-hmm.
They're currently a quite white company, very white company, which is okay, because if the desire is there, there's no reason why the shift can't happen. And so I'm talking to someone at a company to help them work with their task force and help them develop ways for outreach, for internal education, and for the development of new guidelines within their company. So yes, I am working with a company, and I would love to work with more companies to do that same thing, because it excites me when I think to myself, oh my gosh, why, of course, there are many Black people who do that. Let me help you find them, because, it just, I know a lot of amazing Black people who do that and who aren't looked at for whatever reason. But yes, let me help you open your eyes so that you can see better, and then you can find them, and we can have matches made in heaven, and we can have more, there's a spectrum of people. I speak in Black and white terms, and I say this all the time. I speak in Black and white terms because honestly, white people are not used to hearing themselves referred to as white people. Everything is written, anything that's written, if it doesn't say Black person or Hispanic or what have you, then we automatically assume it's white, and especially if it's good. Black people, or Black, is put at the bottom. So when someone refers to someone as a Black person, it's like, oh, don't say that, don't say that. It's a bad word. I think that it's conversation. We need to have these conversations. But from white up here, which people think is up here, and Black, which people think is the lowest, which is all totally false, there's a spectrum in between. And the closer you are to white, the more you are right. The closer you are to Black, the more you are wrong or bad or lazy or whatever adjective people want to use. What we're trying to do is say it's not like this. It's not up and down. It's like this. It's just a spectrum of color, right? If you look at a box of crayons, is there a color that's more interesting or better than any of the other colors? No, it's a spectrum. Each color brings its own flavor to whatever you're using it for. It's the same as people. People bring their own flavor. Learning to appreciate the flavor is what needs to happen in companies. And I am all for helping companies do that. Absolutely.
That's fabulous. Okay, so how does someone get in touch if they want to find out more about your coaching? Maybe speaking at an event later this fall, perhaps?
Yeah, absolutely. My website is Sedruola Maruska. So it's SEDRUOLAMARUSKA.com, SedruolaMaruska.com. I'm also on LinkedIn as Sedruola Maruska. I'm on Twitter as Sedruola, SEDRUOLA. I'm on Instagram as Sedruola. I'm on Facebook as Sedruola Maruska. And I'm on YouTube. I'm also working on my YouTube channel, and that is also Sedruola Maruska. So I'm everywhere under
Okay,
my name.
so no excuse for anybody not finding you.
That's right. You
You are
can
out
find
there.
me. And honestly, I say to people, if you put Sedruola into the Google,
Hmm.
I am the only one.
Oh,
So,
see?
so have at it. You'll see a whole history of different things that I've done. You'll see crochet. You'll see I have a crochet channel where you can learn how to crochet. You'll see uh, a quick stint of event planning. You'll see a lot of different things, but the ones that are most active right now are this, and this is, I believe that this is where my mission was taking me, and this is what's going to take me into the future. Definitely.
Well, this has been an amazing interview. I am so thrilled that you came on my show to speak about many different things.
Yeah, well, thank you so much. I was very moved when you asked me to join. So thank you. I really, really do appreciate you.
Quite welcome. And so I want to thank you again. And I want to thank the folks joining in to watch the interview. This is Journeys. My name is Denise Hurley, and we will all see you later. And make sure you check out Sadie's stuff. She's amazing.
Oh, thank you.
All right, so see you next time. Bye-bye.
Bye.